Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to Movies That Start with Consonants month. And this is a movie that I would wanted to review since I saw it back in the summer. It is a summer movie from last year in 2016, and it is the animated adult comedy. I repeat, this is a movie for adults, not for children. Sausage Party. Yeah, I got to see this in the library a couple months ago in the summer. I was curious about all the hype it got and that, oh my God, it's so raunchy and the ending is so crazy. And it is, but I'll get to that. And it's enjoyable, but I gotta say this is a very polarizing movie, just like Batman versus Superman, because like it also got a lot of hate. People said it wasn't funny, it was overrated, it was this, it was gross, it was just a bunch of memes. I say it's funny, but if you get the humor. This is a Seth Rogen vehicle anyway. Him and Evan Goldberg, is it Goldberg? Yeah, they worked on Pineapple Express, I think, and I also think they worked on the Green Hornet movie. That movie is unfunny. I did not laugh once there. Here, I laughed several times, especially with Seth Rogen, and the voice acting is great in the movie. I got to say, this movie has more high points than low points. Now, let me get the things out of the way that I didn't like. Gay jokes, didn't care for it. Salma Hayek is a taco that's a lesbian. Don't care. Don't give a shit. Also, the falafel is in love with Edward Norton. That's not needed either. I told you, I hate gay agendas, religious agendas, and gay and freaking SJW agendas. I don't need that in my movies. Second, there are some scenes where they curse excessively, which I think is not necessary, especially in the first 5 minutes. They say fuck like every 5 seconds. I'm like, we get it, Seth Rogen. It's an R-rated comedy. I want to laugh. I don't need to say, hey, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. It just gets tiresome in the first 10 minutes of the movie. But the rest of the movie, I get it. You know, it's an adult movie. They're not. It's not. This is basically a Pixar movie for adults, and the animation is good. I think the animation looks stunning for the budget that this had, about 25 to 30 million dollars. Looks really good. The musical number in the beginning is very creative and colorful, but this is not for kids, people. There are a lot of sexual and adult jokes in this movie. There's a lot of curse words. There's some violent acts, but they're not that violent because, basically it's food like this. Banana's talking to me. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, there's references to drugs. There's a scene where James Franco's this guy with a frizzy hair, and he gets bath salts. No, that's not salt for your bath to take a bubble bath. It's a drug, and he ties his arm and injects it, and he just starts hallucinating. And he sees the little sausage. One of the baby sausages is Michael Cera. He does a good job. I will say he's annoyed me a lot less than Jesse Eisenberg. His hit record hit him. He did two movies that I liked this year. I saw Lego Batman. He was great as young Robin. I thought he was very cute in the movie. And as a baby sausage here, he didn't annoy me. I know they say him and Jesse Eisenberg sound alike. Well, Michael Cera's Canadian, so he says "oot." That's something that Eisenberg has never said. But I like this character. I mean, Franco, he has more screen time here than he does in Alien Covenant as an animated character that takes bath salts. And he's like, duh, don't use drugs, kids, by the way. Well, not, Nerd Pack, never use it because you don't need it. But this movie is crazy. I love my favorite character in the movie has got to be Kristen Wiig as the hot dog bun. Oh my God, I just can't hold back how much I love her voice. Her voice is just absolutely gorgeous. I love how feminine she sounds. She has a voice that Daisy Ridley will never have. No accent, beautiful feminine voice, a mature woman in her 40s, so she's not freaking 25 or 21. No, she's a real woman. And her character, she's like, oh, me and Frank touch tips, because they basically have the personalities of humans, but they're food. Frank is Seth Rogen's character. He's a hot dog. They never call him a hot dog. They call him a sausage. Uh, Nick Kroll plays, I'm not kidding, a douchebag. That alone made me laugh my ass off. He's like, yo, bro, where's the sausage at? I want to kick his ass. He sounds just like that. That's what he sounds. I know my friend Tevya loved this movie. It was hilarious. As a guy that watched South Park and Family Guy and The Simpsons when I was a kid. Yeah, this kind of humor, a lot of it made me laugh. There's Bill Hader does a voice of a Native American tequila or like a bottle of booze. It didn't bother me. I didn't know it was his voice. He sounds like this, and I talk like this. And basically, this movie tries to get existential because it talks about the afterlife. You know how, oh, we're going to the great beyond. We're gonna go to the great beyond out of the supermarket, and we're gonna go into the afterlife. I'm like, that could have been toned down a little bit. I get it. You want to leave the store, but what they don't understand is once food gets out of the supermarket, people, what do they people do with food? You eat them, like I'm doing right now, and I'm not ashamed. After this movie, I wasn't afraid to touch food. I still eat. Good nanner. Anyway, this movie just cracks me up. Like the sex scene at the end, that food orgy is one of the craziest things I've ever seen in an animated movie. You have anal beads, and you have I'm gonna fuck this cracker, which is Craig Robinson, dry humping a box of crackers. And there's a lot of adult sexual stuff. I'm not going to say all of it. There's also Frank going into the hot dog bun, which that's where a hot dog goes. It's like, oh yeah, that feels great, baby. I'm like, Deadpool did the same thing, and I laughed my ass off in that. As long as they don't show it with real people, I'm fine because I'm not going to see two men having sex in a movie, not even in an R-rated comedy. It's just not for me. But movie's crazy. There's a scene where Frank and the others they drop like I think it's like flour, and then there's like the screen goes black like it's Saving Private Ryan, and it's cloudy, and there's a jar of like whatchamacallit, like I think it's grape jelly, and it's bleeding. It's supposed to represent blood. I get it. I get the humor. People that didn't like it didn't get it. They didn't get the sex jokes. That they should have expected it. It's a freaking Seth Rogen movie. You're not gonna get Disney Channel slapstick humor or hear the same jokes 14 times. Which thank God they didn't do that. But it's funny. I was like, this is hilarious. This is something creative, an animated movie, and parents were shocked that this was not for kids. Parents, listen here. As close as I can get to this camera. Not everything animated is for children. There's a lot of animes that are not for children. Hentai is not for children. South Park, Family Guy is not for children. I need to say that. You want your kids to see children's stuff? See a Pixar movie. See a DreamWorks movie. See a freaking thing on the Disney Channel or Disney Junior. You're not going to find anything offensive like this. This will offend everybody. That's why it's a polarizing movie, but it's hilarious. It's short too. It's not a 2-hour comedy. It's only 95 minutes. It goes right real quick. There's also a meta joke at the end that cracked me up. It's like, oh, and the sausage was played by Seth Rogen. I was like, Seth Rogen? Who's that guy? And like, I love the meta humor in the movie at the end. And then he's like, Edward Norton finds out that he played a bagel. That was funny because he plays like a kind of a Jewish, character, a stereotype. But it's funny. It made me laugh. I'm like, I hear accents and stereotypes all the time in wrestling. So it appealed to me. And like I said, Kristen Wiig is the voice that I just love the most. Like I love that woman's voice. I could listen to that woman recite poetry or read the phone book or read a bad tweet on Twitter, and I'm like, oh my god, Kristen Wiig, you redeemed yourself after Fembusters because in Fembusters you can't make shitty dialogue work, but your voice, oh my god, your voice just makes me go crazy. It really does in a good way. You also have other voice actors that have worked with Seth Rogen before. You got Danny McBride, like I said, Nick Kroll. You have James Franco, Michael Cera. Who else is in the movie? Bill Hader. I said that. There were other voice actors I don't remember in the movie, but it goes for it. The movie does not. It's not pandering to children. It's not. It doesn't have any agendas. There were just some things in the movie, the gay jokes at the end and jerking off. I'm like, they don't have penises, so that joke doesn't work. But it made me laugh. And the fact that this movie came out in the summer and it didn't make $1 billion, but I'd take these jokes over anything in freaking Suicide Squad. That movie had stupid lines like, yo, I want BT and I'm going to rain down on you like the Holy Ghost. That's not funny, David Hare. That is not funny. This is funny. This made me laugh my ass off. I was watching this in the library. I'm like, this cast is just going for it. They're just grabbing the book. They're like, we're not going to pander for kids. This is animated, but this is not for children. We're going to just push the envelope. But again, Seth, tone down the f bombs. You don't need it every 5 seconds. We get it. This is not for children. We get it. I'm not a kid when I saw this. Even if I saw this 10 years ago, I was not a kid. So yeah, I wish there were movies like this when I was a kid, but there wasn't because the South Park movie was in 1999. I was like 14. But yeah, it's a funny movie. If people didn't get it, they didn't laugh, they didn't get it. It's not their kind of humor. My parents would hate this movie because they hate gay material. They hate sexual jokes. They just don't like it. Entendres is not for them. But sometimes it makes me laugh. At least it wasn't fart jokes for 50 minutes. There's also scenes, that kind of get dark where this lady's eating baby carrots and they're like, they're eating children, fucking children. I'm like, they're just going for it. But it goes real fraud. There's also a Twinkie in the movie. There's tomatoes and a lot of produce that I see in my supermarket every day. And it's a premise that should not have worked. This movie should have been a huge bomb, but the critics liked it and I liked it. So what's the harm in that? It didn't swear me off food because I still eat food. I'm eating a nana right now and it's not talking to me because I don't use drugs. But the film was entertaining. Despite its flaws, and there were several, like some jokes that just fell flat because they felt like a teenager wrote them. But it's still like Deadpool. It was successful, and I laughed. I'm not going to condemn a movie that made me laugh. I'd rather watch Distant Neighbors 2 or Bad Mom, or freaking Bad Mom Christmas, which came out yesterday. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see women acting like dumbasses. That's not funny to me. Give me Kristen Wiig saying anything like, hey, we touch tips. Oh, I want to go with you. I want to go to the great beyond or whatever. I get it. I get it. I get the humor, but like that woman is amazing. That is a real woman right there, and she just owns it. And she's the fact that she's playing a hot dog bun. Yeah, we get what the reference is, but it's funny. The movie, it's not mean spirited. At least it doesn't try to. It doesn't go out of its way to offend people. Like South Park sometimes goes way too far with the potty jokes and all that. That's not necessary. Just make me laugh. Like, just make a sound effect. That'll make me laugh. Here, it made me laugh. Would I get this on Blu-ray? Yeah. I can laugh my ass off some more. Because Seth Rogen, I like his voice. At least he's not freaking Kevin Hart. If Kevin Hart was in this movie, I guarantee you they would have dropped an N word. And they don't say that in this movie. Thank you, Seth Rogen, for not being racially insensitive. Because that word, my friends hate that word, and I don't blame them. Believe me, that is not a word you want to hear in an animated movie. That would just drive people away and say this is racist. But the movie's funny. If you, Sean, if you haven't seen this, if go in with an open mind, just don't think that the movie's going to be a classic. But if you want a few laughs and you've seen South Park, go for it. I don't think it's going to hurt you. But it's a funny movie. Tevye laughed his ass off. I did. I would have loved to have seen this in the theater. Hearing a bunch of people laughing their asses off. There's nothing like that in the theater. Because when I saw Homecoming, a lot of people were laughing their asses off, and that's a great feeling in the theater. And hopefully, when I see Thor tomorrow, same feeling because I want to laugh. Laughter is the best medicine, and sometimes it comes in the most unlikely places with a movie about food and the great beyond. Which I get it. I get where you're going with that. Yeah, it's all bullshit. Yeah, I get it. But I give Sausage Party. It's a good movie, but it's not for everyone, and it doesn't have to be. Neither was a South Park movie. So, see you guys in the next review. Take care. Watch this movie if you haven't. It's a fun time, but do not watch this with your kids. It will screw them up. They may not eat lunch for like a year if they see this movie too young because it's pretty animation. A hero will rise. It's a boner joke, people. It's not meant. It's not meant to be. It's not an Avengers quote. It's a boner joke. But anyway, the movie I got it. Some people didn't get it. I did. So hey, it's all about taste and perspective. Comedy is subjective, but this is my kind of a comedy, especially animated, because they went for it. And I couldn't ask for more. See you in the next one.